I'm gonna pull out a good album, dude. I'm gonna pull out a good album this week. I'm gonna.
Hey,
I'm
they've all
gonna
been good
pull out a
albums
good
so
album.
far.
I have one, dude. I have one.
Okay. Let's reveal it to me. So next week we shall be covering. Oh, very interesting.
Hey dudes and dudettes, what is going on? I'm Jonny Middleton and I'm joined once again by my awesome hard rocking amigo
Travis Ward.
and welcome to episode 5 of our Classic Song and Crypt album reviewing series on YouTube. And would you say today, Maestro, that today's album is much more of a change from like the sort of musical genres that they've been covered in our previous horror episodes? It's much more...
He's a man who's very untouchable for what he's written. I mean, with this album, we've got a guy who's influenced by many other acts, and we see this on this album, but he writes his own songs, which you can't think of anyone else afterwards.
We're sort of focused on like a solo artist today, aren't we, brother? Because like the other projects could more like be like more of a band.
Oh yes, definitely.
But it's a bit like Nico, although she was part of the Velvet
She was part, yeah. So this is the first solo artist we've covered in the series, and
this is really cool. And to sort of like elaborate on that point, like this is more like an easy listening sort of record, but there are a lot of rock tendencies in there, and this album, like the inclusion of this album, this series wasn't actually like you actually asked one of your good friends to sort of include it in this because we couldn't decide which album to cover by this particular artist.
Because he's got many. Because we put this on classics from the Crypt, but it could be arguable whether this is a classic. I mean,
we could have featured his next album.
His successor is definitely considered a classic, and its predecessor would not be considered a classic, but our predecessor could be as well.
You know what I'd argue, dude? I'd argue that the preceding album to this one would actually have been like as well known. Nirvana hadn't covered that song.
I guess because it was also covered by Lulu, and it still didn't get as much commercial notification. Yeah.
Oh, you mean that female 80s singer?
Yeah.
She sings like Adam and the Ants or something. That sort of like new wave sort of. We were talking about this the other day. That sort of like 80s thing with like all the makeup.
80s had so many genres. It was unbelievable.
It's primarily it's probably new wave, glam.
Well, this guy was having glam in the 70s.
It's because the preceding albums too, like the sort of like just like the album between us to do, like you get the album before that, which is focused on a lot of heavy stuff. The album which also focused a lot more heavy stuff. So it's more to go in
finding his place definitely after much experimentation.
This album's like a return to like the sort of material like based on his second album, everyone. And after all his shenanigans, it's time to reveal the artist who we are talking about. And his name is a musician who emanates from London. And is very iconic amongst music fans. And his name is David Bowie, and we'll be covering the album Hunky Dory today, everyone, which is
released in 1971 on 17th of December
on RCA Records. It was David Bowie's fourth studio album, and
recorded in Trident Studios in London
from between June and August 1971. And RCA Records, which is like this album was released on, dude. Like RCA Records, which remained Bowie's label, not Bowie, sorry, Bowie. But is it Bowie or Bowie?
Both.
Please tell me.
Does
it like not depend on how you pronounce this?
David Bowie.
David Bowie. Well, anyway, like RCA Records will be like is like label for like the next 10 years, which you put out probably quite a lot of successful albums. I know Part 2 in '73.
Its successor we're talking about was Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars,
which is actually called The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. As well as like the album before, like The Man Who Sold the World, which was released in 1970.
More noted for its title track being covered by Nirvana and the Unplugged in New York.
MTV Unplugged in New York.
In 1994, and the album was a lot heavier, a lot more guitar influence as well. I mean, there's some tracks in that where you think
this dude's speaking the truth.
You'd think that it was a Black Sabbath song, and this is before Black. Oh no, it's on par with Black Sabbath song too.
When you said it, that's like the second song on The Man Who Sold the World. The song that sounded a bit like Black Sabbath.
Yes, I will just find that song.
We didn't actually research this song. I didn't try to say it sounded like Black Sabbath.
Okay, so you've got the first track on Man Who Sold the World called "The Width of a Circle," which is 8 minutes long. It's got so many changes in it. It's very like dark as well. And then
it certainly changed like the material on this album. Because there's only 2 songs on this album which clips the 5-minute mark. The rest of it are like 3 to 4 minutes of standard commercial accessible
and
songs.
even less than 3 as well, some of them.
Just out of curiosity, was you aware that David Bowie's second studio album, the eponymously titled 1969 release, which also was released in 1972 as an album called Space Odyssey, it was backed by that single, would you argue like the songs on the album are a lot more commercial, much like in the style of songs on Hunky Dory?
Going his first bit of recognition.
Especially the song Space Odyssey.
Oh yeah, because of the timing of it.
I didn't actually listen to that song prior to this review, and when Travito came around and said like it's like ground control to Major Tom, so I'm like, oh yeah, I know that song. Don't we all know that song? It reached number 5, but mostly of the material on the album was bit critically and commercially. What's the opposite of acclaimed, dude? Is it shunned?
Well,
Commercially critical failure.
Well, it'd have to be shunned by actually people shunning it, like saying that this is crap. Or, like, if it didn't get recognition, it's just unnoticed.
The first David Bowie album, his 1967 debut, was very, very commercially and critically failure. It was described as the mad woman in the attic.
See, and now
by some people.
Referring back to Man Who Sold the World, the second track is called Older Madmen, and listening to it like with the guitars and stuff, it sounded like a Black Sabbath song. And then referring to the title track and the track afterwards,
I was different in this review, dude. I just have a bottle of Coke opposed to a can.
That product placement, you know, Coke.
Gotta have that diversity in there, even with the drinks.
Where's my royalties?
I owe a lot of gratitude to Coca-Cola. Anyway, back to your point about Mad Men.
No, I've just...
Diary of a Madman. Because this album was actually produced, everyone, by Ken Scott. Like David Bowie, also helped out in the production. It was like Ken Scott assisted by the actor.
Who's David Bowie?
Because NME said that David Bowie liked to think of himself as an actor.
He was always this glamorous, artsy, influenced person.
It was very artsy even from a young age. The sort of cover to his first album, which shows just him, is a bit unrepresentative of what he is. You see, like later covers, like his second album is more spacey. And they get Ziggy Stardust going, he's got like the awesome red hair.
Well, I guess you get a space theme with the track Life on Mars as well.
Especially the 8-line poem with the piano. But we'll get into
the use of his vocal work as well.
Bowie used a lot, Bowie, whatever. He used a lot of experimental vocal styles on this album in general. On certain songs.
Ken Sharp from AllMusic described it as a special kaleidoscopic world. And it's an album that is special to him, and he feels like it's not as recognised as other albums.
I'd say it still feels as if it belongs to its own world, dude. And as I was saying, you know, like the Ziggy Stardust era, like Marilyn Manson got a lot of that from Mechanical Albums,
yeah.
Especially his aesthetics and the whole
hair,
glam, and that is the best hairstyle. I'm gonna dye my hair red black like that one. I swear on you. I might do it in the next year. I don't know. Depends if I can get a job or not. I know jobs can't accept coloured hair because they're arseholes. Anyway.
Fight the power.
Fight the power. Is that Rage Against the Machine, dude? Take the power back there, isn't it? And because Ken Scott had actually worked on with artists such like the Beatles, who have been like a very dominant act in the preceding decade, on the Magical Mystery Tour soundtrack. I always thought Magical Mystery Tour was a studio album, dude. I didn't realise it was just like a soundtrack.
Yeah, it's just because it was a film made. I mean, it's got tracks from other albums and stuff on it.
Love me do. Oh, that's from Please Please Me. That's
like
well before.
It's got more of the psychedelic stuff on it.
Was Magical Mystery Tour like released prior to Sgt. Pepper's? I know Sgt. Pepper's came out.
It's before Sgt. Pepper, I think, isn't it?
Really?
Has it got Yellow Submarine on that one? Oh no.
I'm not too sure, dude. I'm not too sure.
I think it's got Octopus's Garden, I think, on it.
Octopus's Garden? I thought that was like the Beatles' White Album.
I don't know. It's got.
Help us see what I did.
Both of those albums.
Needs a bad idea.
So, I don't know.
Rubber Soul Revolver. Like I was just saying, like this album was sort of in between like the glam era Bowie, like so it focuses a lot on like folk rock and art rock as well as
psychedelic rock.
There's a bit of psychedelia in there with songs just like Queen Bitch
and a bit of Andy Warhol.
Hey, dude, well, that's why I didn't like Queen Bitch.
No.
It's like swearing.
Bitch. Right.
Smack My Bishop. Prodigy.
Them tangents.
Prodigy are cool. That video is controversial. It's like I was saying, like it could appear as like a more mainstream, like commercial audience do, because it's a relatively short album length-wise. Like most of the songs, like only 2 clips,
it's like
5
clocking
minutes.
in about 40 odd minutes. Yeah.
It's like about 40 odd minutes in length.
40 minutes.
11 tracks, a bit conventional. On my edition of the album, there are 0 bonus tracks, even though it's part of a remastered series. Give us some bonus tracks.
With a newly-esque dancehall sort of music. You get that dancehall theme sort of the time with some of the piano riffs.
I got a lot of feel from that dance song Life on Mars, question mark, which actually released, just like there were 2 singles released this album. There was Changes, which is a big popular song, as I quoted on Twitter recently, just to, throw it out there.
I've got some more style quotes as well, that it had a sweeping cinematic melange of melange or something. Melange of high and low art with ambiguous sexuality, kitsch and
tarts.
Yeah, and with this album, in comparison to The Man Who Sold the World, the guitar is like dumbed down. There's less guitar because the guitar dominates.
There's a lot of piano.
Yeah, the piano being brought up like every track. The piano dominates, and the guitar doesn't really kick in until about track 3 on the album.
Because I'm sure like most of the songs sounded like the piano like opens the first couple of songs primarily, then get like guitar opening. Could be like Kooks or Quicksand first.
I found that the first couple of tracks of the album with the piano
it.
help flow into each other.
But
just my opinion.
But the songs don't actually sing into each other.
No, I don't.
Just like,
no, it's not like a concept or anything like that.
Not Dark Side of the Moon.
No.
No. I don't know if David Bowie could write Dark Side of the Moon. Although Ziggy Stardust is probably his most concept-y album.
Yeah.
I suppose. Because Ziggy Stardust is like the personality of Iggy Pop and the music of Lou Reed. There's actually like a song on this album. It's like drawing parallels to
Underground.
And also drawing comparisons to the previous few, as you were saying, it's about Velvet Underground. Like, there's a song called Queen Bitch, as we alluded to Velvet Underground. There's a song called Andy Warhol, one of Bowie's major.
And also a track called A Song for Bob Dylan, which is inspired by Bob Dylan.
Because Bowie really looks his influences a lot.
Yeah, this is Bowie really giving a kudos to those before him who inspired him.
A song for Bob Dylan, which was based on another song that Bob Dylan did, which we'll get into. I can't remember this dude's name. Is it Tommy Guthrie or something? Woody Guthrie. It's like the opening line's similar, but it changes it slightly. Like as we were saying, like Space Oddity, which was on Bowie's second studio album, like that song really got popular, just like the Apollo 11.
Yeah, the Apollo landing, which is, what did you say, was it 5 days later or something?
It was something like 5 days later.
Yeah.
Although it's like the release date of the single is like a bit different. That's like, screw it, it's 5 days later.
It's been re-released a couple of times as well, Space Oddity, and it's just like crept up the charts each time. So.
I'd say if like Bowie's second studio album onwards, like the commercial success of Ziggy Stardust really propelled the success of Bowie's
when the album was re-released as well.
Commercially in the charts
as well.
I probably have some stats in here, but
And so on this album we have Trevor Bolder, who plays bass and trumpet. We have Mick Woodmansey, who plays drums.
Cook's a good rep song for trumpet to do.
Indeed, that's like the one song with trumpet on it. Mick Ronson, who on guitar, and piano is Rick Wakeman.
I have a line up in here as well, because like this album's actually recorded like the first incarnation of the Spiders from Mars backing band, which like Bowie had first experimented on 90 Cents as a Man Who Sold the World.
Yeah, there was Mick Ronson stuff on that, dominating with the guitar on that album.
I think like the bass player was and the drummer changed.
Yeah, which led to Bowie
had to like pay his manager like compensation or something. Then he fired him and got somebody else in.
I mean, it's a highly rated album. Both AllMusic and Rolling Stone give it a 5-star, and it's on.
Y'all know who you are, right? Who suggested we review this album? Y'all know who you are.
Rolling Stone have a top 500 albums of all time. It's 108, but that's quite good, I guess.
And you're also showing it like the album sort of like where NME ranks.
Like different members of staff, and they're all some of them are
Weezer and Nirvana in there.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Interesting.
It wasn't Nevermind, by the way. It was in Utero.
Good.
That's cool. Because like this album was like where like Bowie's first album sort of like really experienced like commercial critical success, because like The Man Who Sold the World had been received better than his second studio album, but this is where really the critics really praised Bowie's work.
One critic, Rolling Stone magazine, said that it was a visionary blend of gay camp, flashy rock guitar and saloon piano balladry. And it marked
Beverly Hills.
It marked the ends of his artistic ambitions, not marked the ends of it, but like I don't know, showed them off with tributes to Dylan and Warhol, and while venting and perfecting a new style of rock and roll glamour, which is definitely seen on this album.
Apparently Bowie dude said that like it was the first time like people actually come up and say good album, good songs, like because he'd not really experienced that before.
I mean, especially with the glamour. I mean, in the Life on Mars video, he's just there like with his makeup on and his big orange hair. Probably
because Life on Mars actually released a single like sort of like 3 years after the album come out.
Yeah, it finished third in the charts. It came in at third in the charts. Whereas Changes.
This was post Ziggy Stardust.
Whereas Changes, a very recognisable song today, came to the charts about 66 and missed off 40 in the top 40 UK.
That's what I was saying, dude. How like Changes like one of Bowie's like best known songs, but it's like it didn't even chart the UK top 40.
It's interesting. You see that with a lot of
lasting legacy of David Bowie.
You do see that with a lot of albums, like at the time, not recognised, but in the modern day, they're really praised, aren't they?
I'm glad that rock music does actually breach the UK top 40, because we don't want rock being alongside likes of Lady Gaga and Lord.
It really stopped about 10 years ago, where rock stopped being in the charts.
What about The Darkness, dude?
Yeah,
Wait, that's 11 years ago. It's
No,
2014.
I'm just thinking, I mean, like, 10 years ago, you look back at it and it was like, there was still Coldplay and Oasis and everything else started
Green Day
depleting.
American
Biffy
Idiot.
Clyro appeared in the top 40, but then it stopped all being about 40, didn't it? It was more about 20.
Biffy Clyro is more of like a mainstream rock
They
band.
are today.
But they are exceptional, brilliant to what they do.
They're in like a world of their own with their music, but
Biffy Clyro are one of
become
the
more
few
popular.
standout artists. And if anyone says Arctic Monkeys, then I'm sorry, Biffy Clyro are much better than Arctic Monkeys.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Because like before this album, dude, like let's just say like Bowie had experienced much commercial and critical success. Like it been forced to earn a living through like other endeavours such as featuring a Lions Made ice cream advertisement, and also rejected featuring a commercial by Kit Kat.
Oh.
Take a break. Have a Kit Kat. And Bowie's manager Kenneth Pitt. I think that was one who like made him pay compensation because Bowie fired him. I think like he made a 30-minute film titled Love You Till Tuesday, which was designed to showcase Bowie's talents, hopefully pick up and attract her audience so they can make money from music as a living. It's very sort of.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me like him touching other areas due to his like artsy personality.
I'd agree. It's very. I guess that's like where like Andy Warhol influence coming. You know, like making films and stuff to promote his stuff. Like Andy Warhol, like,
even
the
though
Plastic Inevitable show, like
even though he knew nothing about music production.
Factory, prostitutes. And yeah, as I say, the period of 69 '73 is like Bowie's glam era, and it's like in the middle.
And talking about like
Spiders from Mars, we should call the hype, dude.
Oh, okay. Talking about the glam and art, the album artwork was influenced by an artist called Marlene Dietrich. I'm probably Dietrich. I don't know, it's German.
It's like a photo shoot of it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he took a photo book with him to a photo shoot, and he wanted that to inspire him.
Instantly. Would you say
with his style, it reminds me like before cameras.
Is it represent
like a Victorian era sort of painting of a?
Is it representative of Marlene, whatever her name is?
Dietrich. I don't know much
Marlene
about
Class.
Oh right, the former.
I see it
from that group.
Marlene Class.
From that group.
Sounds like a Yorkshire person saying Marlene Class. Marlene Class.
I don't know what group she was in.
Because like that's what I was saying. Like the Spiders from Mars, like they're initially called the Hype. They're also called Harry the Butcher and David Bowie's Imagination. Or Imagination, since I'm a huge Jeff Hardy fan. And because after the release of his second album, like Bowie desired like a full-time band for gigs and recording people could relate to on like a personal level. And so the people who featured on is like a back in my second album, like Tim Renwick, John Honk Lodge, Mick Wayne and John Cambridge.
Yeah.
Like Cambridge remained in the lineup and Tony Visconti joined the bass, obviously John Cambridge and Tony Visconti played to be fired from the band and they're replaced by Trevor Boulder and Rick Wakeman, I believe.
Rick Wakeman, the piano guy.
I think Tony Visconti is quite like a bit of a multi-instrumentalist.
Okay.
I'm sure it was. It was something along those lines.
And this album was certified platinum a decade later. Also gold on the same day. That was the first time people looked at the sales of the album.
I like thinking, how can an album be certified gold and platinum on the same day?
It's because it would have been the first time that the album sales would have been looked at.
Was this in the UK as well, dude?
I don't know. But I know it's probably platinum in both the UK and America.
I remember like looking at like the sort of like the company that does these like certifications and stuff. And it was like different to the ones like actually said how many units you had to sell. So like, no, it's great. Just
it's because different countries have different units of sales.
Let's get some official figures together.
Certifications of
damn.
Different certifications of album sales.
It's because you were saying, dude, how like in different countries, like it takes more or less to platinum.
Yeah,
depending on the population.
In New Zealand, it's about 50,000 for a platinum, I believe, and that's because New Zealand.
But in the UK and America,
it's about 100,000.
It's a hell of a lot different.
Yeah. 100,000 UK, I believe.
What about in countries like what's the smallest populated country in the world?
Oh, I'm not even gonna bother with geography, don't you?
Is it Peru? Could be Peru.
Why would it be Peru?
How many albums do you tell platinum to be in Peru?
I don't know. I mean, they don't really look. Normally,
no, it's Nepal.
Yeah,
it's Nepal.
Oh, right, Nepal.
Because they have that dodgy flag.
Nepal.
It doesn't take up the whole square because it's different.
It's like no, I was just thinking. They usually look at sales in UK, Germany, America, and Japan. That's usually where sales are looked at.
Italy. I've seen Italy too. I'm sure I've seen Italy.
I've just usually see those four.
But like basically like the Hype, like a full-on band until like a disastrous first gig at the London Roundhouse, and so. Like Bowie switched it back to his backing band, so like centered around him as opposed to like the band as a whole. Because I don't know, like with the Ziggy Stardust album, which that was really like a Bowie thing, but just had his Spiders from Mars. Backing band, they're doing their thing too.
Yeah, it's like Marilyn Manson. It's a band, but he's the
figurehead. Focus a lot, yeah. When people say Marilyn Manson, they also have to think of the lead singer, Brian Hugh Warner, but it's actually like a band who should be credited too.
I mean, although at first it was Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids before
Back in
Marilyn Manson got
92.
signed. Yeah.
Before I released Portrait in '94. Because like all the individuals like had names, didn't they? In this project.
Yeah, you're on about that to me.
It's like John Cambridge was Cowboy Man. Tony Visconti was Hype Man. David Bowie was Space Star Rainbow Man. Mick Ronson was Gangster Man.
Oh.
And I think that's just about it for all the men.
Okay.
Bit of an innuendo going on there. But obviously, as I said, like Cambridge and what's his face, Visconti was fired and replaced by Rick Wakeman and Trevor Bolden, respectively. Also, drummer. Sorry, Mick Woody Woodmansey. He replaced John Cage and Cambridge.
Right, yeah.
Turn and face the strain. Take it away, dude.
Changes.
You need to mention the chitty bit, which was actually...
I don't have a stutter. What are you talking about?
The stuttering chorus is a reference to The Who, apparently. Although we were trying to figure out which Who songs have stuttering
I
chorus.
thought it was My Generation.
So did I. That's what came to my house. Like how, do you guys and gals do to know how the kids are alright goes? No? Maybe?
It's just like an episode of Dora Explorer where they talk to the TV and expect a response.
Yeah, well, if any of you watch this video, feel free to comment on Facebook. You know,
Not
any
that I
answers to
watched
these
that
questions.
show.
And if any of you remember that cool little status I posted on Facebook the other day, because this song actually comes with some very sort of a piano piece. It's very reminiscent to the song My Second Album from STP's Purple. So, you know, this is kind of like the album I was alluding to.
I was confused by this because I do a vice versa sort of referencing. I do.
I mean the chocolates do.
Of course.
Vice versa.
I mean that, like,
Nestle.
the album came out in the 60s, whatever was released after that sounds like that from the 60s, not the other way around.
I sort of did it to relate to a modern day audience, so that people knew what the hell we're talking about. Because obviously, like, I imagine like a lot of the younger generation might watch these videos, with the exception of a couple people maybe, so they'll probably know what we're talking about when we say. Oh, STP Purple's 94, isn't it?
Indeed.
And then you get some like, and some form of instrumentation reminiscent to the song Driving in My Car by Madness. Now I'm sure every single person watching this video has heard of the band Madness.
Sure. I mean,
it's very unique sounding, brother. Like, before like Bowie's coming, I feel like Bowie's vocals still have like a soaring nature, especially like the chorus of this song. I don't know. I don't know whether you'd agree with that sentiment or not.
Not as much as on other songs on the album, I don't find. Like, Oh You Pretty Thing and Life on Mars use more like extensive vocal work.
Well, elaborate on Oh You Pretty Thing, shortly. And do you know how I was saying, dude? Like before I started recording, I didn't realise the song's actually what it was until I heard the chorus. This
Really?
I didn't think I'd heard this song before I heard the chorus.
This song changes quite a bit
It's
as
a very
well.
popular song.
It like goes from this soft like instrument like in the beginning, and then it goes into like that saxophone sort of like which I think
I'm sure there's some
to me it sounds like it's on like a TV theme or something.
I don't know if the driving in my car sound instrumentation.
Yeah, and this song's also...
I feel the vocals are very 60s
the lyrics in this song are seen as a manifesto for his charismatic personality due to him frequently changing his style and all that stuff.
Was David Bowie a charismatic enigma?
Yeah. Oh, you're going to put a Jeff Hardy reference there, right?
Of course, you know me.
I got a wrestling reference, yeah.
And I'm sure, like, because this song structure-wise is like a very simple structure. There's like verse, chorus, bridge. Probably like another chorus
like a very standard structure.
It's
well known.
It sort of fits like the more commercial, accessible nature of the music.
Something I don't seem to follow, really, is it?
I do.
Something I don't seem to follow. I can't follow like a structure like that.
I just listen out. Like I've learned the conventions of a typical.
I know. I mean, like
structure.
Myself when I write, I can't follow a simple structure like that.
Nah, I'm always willing to put little changes in there.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, dude, there's some like little changes in there too with the saxophone.
Yeah, you got saxophone. You got a lot of piano heavy sort of music.
It costs around 3 minutes, typical length for a.
It's very easy listening.
And I'd agree, certainly like a sort of more. A good way to
start
the album. It has more like a sing-along chorus, to sort of get people into the album and it's one to listen to.
More accessible for the common man in comparison to the Man Who Sold the World album.
I've not actually listened to the Man Who Sold the World album, dude. Yeah. Apart from the song The Man Who Sold the World, I've heard the Nirvana version.
You've never heard the David Bowie version?
No, no. Shame on me.
Boo his boo.
But I feel like you said there are actually better songs on Hunky Dory than Changes. Like as you said, like you've probably overheard
better songs on Hunky. Oh, you mean band of title? I was like, he hasn't got an album called Changes. But yeah, I agree. It's not one of my favourites on the album.
Changes. First song on this album.
Yeah, it's not one of my favourites on the album. I mean, you got different use of vocals as well on this album, stuff like that.
And dude, you know how he's saying his song's like about his chameleonic, charismatic personality?
Chameleonic, yes.
It's basically about like changes in the world today and constant like artistic reinventions.
Yeah,
like
he's
his musical
he's
sounds like the
leaving
70s. Ziggy Stardust.
He's leaving behind the rock mainstream and creating his new genre.
With the line, is it rock and roll lovers?
Yeah.
Look out, you rock and rollers. Rock and roll lovers. Anyway.
Oh yeah, of course.
And this song, dude, is actually singing as like David Bowie's like debut North American single, despite the fact the Man Who Sold the World had released that region
But
2 years prior.
got less recognition. 2 years? 1 year.
1970. What was it?
71,
70.
70.
Oh yeah. Came a
Although
year after Man
72,
Sold the World.
no, it was
Yeah.
released in 72.
69.
But yeah, sorry.
I don't know. It basically like it clocks in around like the 3 minute mark. Like it's once again typical of an artist with songs of more accessible
And
nature.
apparently the piano riff is
And dude,
based off of Martha My Dear by the Beatles.
Just out of curiosity, do I have my head down most videos while I look at my notes? I never actually look at the camera.
Perhaps. I mean, in this video, it's the first time I've been looking at my notes properly. Like,
I've noticed your head's
extensively.
been dropping more
I don't know what you're talking about. So,
Neither
yeah,
do I.
apparently, yeah, so
I've
the
come up
piano,
with so much weird stuff, it's unreal.
so the piano riff is apparently based off of Martha My Dear by the Beatles, which is on the
I
White
wrote
album.
this, which is actually a self-titled called The Beatles. I didn't actually know this. Yeah, I wrote this down. I thought it was a reference to. I thought the song was called Dear Martha, not Martha My Dear.
Dear there's some, oh, is it To Martha or something, the Smashing Pumpkins song?
I had no idea, dude.
Or from the
Well,
Adore
well,
album.
the Smash Pumpkins always have like female influence, so maybe there could have been a member called Martha in our lineup at some point.
No.
But it's again, it starts with piano, doesn't it, dude? It has much more like a bouncing beat, especially in the chorus of the song. The song "Oh You Pretty Things." It's
Oh
very,
yeah, when it kicks in with his,
dancing
voice
cues.
rising as well.
This song reminded me of
Because it all kicks in as well, because it starts off with the...
especially the chorus. Like the piano beat is melody is a bit different to change as to do.
Yeah, this song's
Because they could have played the same melody.
Could you please tell me, pronounce that word, the impending obsolence...
The idea of the impending obsolescence of the human race in favour of an alliance between arriving aliens
and the
and
modern
youth of the
teenagers
present
at the
society.
time, not today.
Very, very sci-fi. Although I say sci-fi is more Ziggy Stardust.
I don't know, it's still
This is cool. But like, I think like the dance beat sort of adds diversity to the album.
Mm-hmm.
It's another very sort of catchy song.
I thought it had some like a bar sort of
Ballroom.
theme. Like ballroom and bar sort of theme, I guess.
Bar like being STP. Oh, I suppose. What was I going to say now? I was saying like about the dance beat and how it like, but it's like, you know, it's a different song to.
Yeah,
I also gonna say I think it's better than Changes.
I agree, yeah. This one was supposed to be the leading single, but they chose Changes to be released on a 45
Really?
disc. Yeah, this one was supposed to be the leading single, and it would have sold... Well, I don't know, actually, every time.
What's the 45 disc do?
It's an old, like, vinyl sort of disc.
Is it like a little vinyl? Can you put like cute little dresses on it? Oh, so cute.
Wow.
This song actually emanates from like a British like Manchester pop band called Herman's Hermits, which Bowie played piano on. But it's like in mid-1971, and like that band sort of replaced Lang Earth as a bitch with The Earth as a Beast, which sort of drew criticism from the NME,
See, on
the
this
National
album,
Musical Express.
On this
Joined the
album,
train.
apparently Bowie played the less complicated like piano riffs and less
You were talking
complicated
about
guitar
that, weren't
stuff on
you?
this album, yeah.
It's not really a standout song as say like Change to Know You Personally. It's probably just like
See,
a little 2
when I
minute
first
song.
started listening
Well,
to
about 2 minutes and five,
to the
right at
vocals
the screen.
and like the soft piano at the beginning, it reminded me a little bit of Nobody Home by Pink Floyd before it kicks in, like the sort of...
Nobody's home. Well, that's Avril Lavigne.
But it just reminds me of
Nobody's.
where Roger Waters is sort of talking, singing at the
Were
beginning.
you saying that was
with
from the
piano.
wall, dude?
Yeah, it's from the wall.
The album that basically Roger Waters wrote all himself.
Yes.
And because like what stands out to me in this song is basically like the guitar.
Yeah, the
melody.
guitar. This is like the first track on the album where the guitar really stands out.
Is this Mick Ronson, dude? Like,
Yes,
guitar.
Mick Ronson.
The guitar really stands out. I know there's some like vocals in this song from Bowie, but you know his vocals a bit more like standard nature, not really too exuberant, and they don't really endure much experimentation. It's just like I don't feel like you know the song "Smooth" by Santana, dude. Cause you're so smooth. Like I got a lot of like Spanish sort of like sounding guitar vibe. The song, so like
You mean a flamenco?
yes, that's the one, dude. Very flamenco. I think I alluded to this babe I'm gonna leave by Led Zeppelin review. There's actually like 9 lines in this song, dude, as opposed to 8 lines, 8-line poem, because the poem's basically a song, or a song's basically a poem.
Yeah, I said that this track was more low-key than the first two. It's less upbeat as the first two tracks.
It essentially doesn't... Did you say it's not as upbeat as the first 2 tracks?
Less upbeat.
Oh, less upbeat. Sorry,
well,
I got
less full, I guess.
mind.
Yeah, it's less obese, it's less full.
It essentially doesn't stand out as much as the opening 2 tracks, but man, it's not bad, I suppose. It's a homage to London. David Bowie's hometown. Homage. Josh Homage. The second single released from this album was like 3 years, 2 years, whatever it was.
One of the eponymous tracks of this album.
After they released this album, and eponymous.
Eponymous, yes.
If you had a song called Hunky Dory, it would certainly be eponymous.
Indeed.
It's actually Life on Mars flashback. Like, I'd actually heard of this song, you know, like from Bowie's material.
If there was a song called Hunky Dory, it'd definitely be on the last STP album.
Well, in relation to my second album.
The last album, the self-titled one. Just because
it's more country. Yeah. More country based.
That's all I was going about.
I'd always associated this song with like the Ziggy Stardust here, approach the song was released during that Bowie's
that same
experimental
theme.
aesthetic
it's
period.
that theme of it, you'd think. And this song's like an imagery sort of song, like slow sounding imagery.
I think it was used in the TV series Life on Mars, dude.
Yeah.
That one about that car on Mars.
Yeah, there's Life on Mars and there's Ashes to Ashes, which is another David Bowie song.
Ashes to Ashes is not a TV series.
No, it wasn't Ashes. Yeah, Ashes to Ashes is after Life on Mars.
Was that
because the other guy, not John Sin, the other guy who's in Life on Mars was apparently in Ashes to Ashes.
Was this the sequel?
No, I don't think it's related. I don't know. I
don't watch much TV.
I watched Life on Mars. I didn't watch Ashes to Ashes.
I didn't watch either. No. I watched Supernatural. And yeah, like Life on Mars. I always thought of Life on Mars. Jared Padalecki's on my heroes. And in Life on Mars, I just thought like a grandiose rock song, but it's not. It's just like it's more like epic piano ballroom based song. Especially like it
starts off with like that soft piano to God Awful Place.
It's another song on the sound dude that opens the piano.
His vocals are used quite well.
There's certainly a lot of vocal experimentation in this song. Especially when he's saying like "share."
Like that surround sound as well when he says the title of
Life on Mars. It's very. It goes around the room, doesn't it, dude?
Pink Floyd.
Video mentioned that. On the Run. You know, like it's about 4 minutes on this song, dude. I'm sure it's about 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's got some
3 minutes.
smooth guitar in it.
It certainly sounds like a lot more than an 8-line poem. That's for sure. It's like I'm sure like some BBC Radio 2 called it a cross between a Broadway musical and a Salvador Dali painting.
I definitely get a Salvador Dali painting, yeah.
I have a SpongeBob poster in my room that's based on Salvador Dali. It's like all dripping and very trippy and very cool. This song
what's that painting called?
Krusty Krab.
No. Oh, God damn it. No, I mean the Salvador Dali's actual one to do with time, isn't it? Help.
Need somebody. And this song actually, its roots like 1968 when it's not like Bowie like wrote the lyrics even a fool learns to live it. So it was set to the music of like a 1967 French rock called Comme d'Habitude.
This song's about like
and it morphed into My Way, which was made famous by Frank Sinatra in 1969. It's
relevant to a sensitive young girl's reaction to the media. I mean, there's a lot of references to John Lennon, to Mickey Mouse, stuff like that.
Mickey Mouse. That's Bram's.
It's just like that song, basically.
Yeah, well, we'll throw a bit of German industrial metal in there, won't we, dude?
Indeed.
And we will. And in 1971, yeah. To back up your point about Bauer status is like, yeah, a sense of young girls watch to the media, but he elaborates on this in 1997 by saying, I think she finds herself disappointed with reality, that although she's living in the doldrums of reality, she's been told there's a far greater life somewhere, and she's bitterly disappointed that she doesn't have access to it.
Cool. Which inspired the band The Kooks.
She moves in her own way. I actually still like that song. The Kooks better
I think they have better songs. I think there's better songs on Conk than The Kooks self-titled.
I love the name of Conk.
Yeah, but also this song...
Okay, do you know those like comedy shows that we like you get someone whacking something over the head and it goes boing?
Oh, you mean like comes out with like a Batman sort of thing where it comes out with the sound?
Yeah. Like boing, zonk.
Some of the
comic books.
No, but if you look at the old Batman stuff, you see some of the words that we use are quite interesting.
The blang.
I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
Kooks is based off of Bowie's son, who had just been born, called Duncan Zoe Hayward Jones.
Oh, that's known as Duncan Jones.
Yeah, who is
like a successful series?
He's known as a director. He directed the 2009 film Moon, which has won a hell of a lot of awards.
You were talking about it, don't you?
Yeah, and I've not seen it, but I want to. But then
did you reference David Bowie like Moon? Oh, you
I
feel
see.
like...
I felt like it could have been influenced, you know. But like he released a
Nothing
film
wrong to our father as an
in
influential figure.
2011 called Source Code, which I thought was pretty.
I've always wanted to. I'd rather watch Pulse.
Yeah, and then in 2016 he's releasing a film called Warcraft based off the gaming franchise.
That's the next American general election, isn't it, dude? When the Barack Obama goes.
Bye, Obama.
And this song is very upbeat. This is actually like the first song where it's like open with guitar.
It's very folk heavy and it's got saxophone.
Very
as
Beatles
well.
like. Nice use of sax and piano. Vocals very positive sound. I was like, have a couple of cooks.
It's got trumpet. Oh no, it wasn't saxophone. It's trumpet I was thinking of. It's like the one song with trumpet.
Who plays trumpet, dude?
The bassist Trevor Balder.
Trevor Baldwin.
Yeah.
Trevor Balder.
And it's, what was I say? Catchy Piano, it's got similar vocals to
I kind of like sort of like a wedding vibe from this, like a lot of people dancing like when like the trumpets quit. Yeah. It's like Ollie Fools and North, so like Rodney and Cassandra get married.
Yeah, it's one of those like, no, that was really sad music though, wasn't it?
No, it's like
which part are you on about? You know about which part?
When like the ball, when like the first going in, not the end.
Oh right, yeah.
Just like at the end, like Del Boy be on his own and stuff. You don't live here anymore. And yeah, this is like, but I always listened to like Neil Young, what I do, it was written.
Yeah, it was just and it's very like piano.
It's what I heard when his song was
piano dominates. The piano dominates this song. It's very consistent as well.
I'll have to agree with you there, brother. And I would say it's one of the strongest songs of the album. It's probably one of the
catchy.
I'd agree. Certainly, yeah, it's about 2 minutes 48, and
that was the one I was on about when I said there was one which didn't clock in at 3.
I'd have to agree with your catchy sentiment because, like, especially say I was staying all over the story.
That trumpet
the
helps
vocals
keep, like, me more reminiscent.
I found the trumpets rather humorous. It made me laugh. Which is the first track on the final track on side A of the vinyl. It's the longest song so far on the album, brother. I'd say about 5 minutes.
It's one of the ones I highly rate. It's got multi-tracked acoustic guitars as well.
And do you know how
it's got strings.
And do you know how I was saying like you go vice versa? I got like it opens like a very Oasis like acoustic guitar melody.
Any notable songs?
Probably stuff like Songbird or
Half the World Away.
Maybe. Oasis have a lot of acoustic based songs, dude. A couple of the Aquarians, I think. Not Aquarians, Masterplan, sorry.
It says Aquarius in the song.
Yeah. There's another Aquarius. And I feel like Bowie's vocals certainly stand out more on this particular song. There's a bit more like diverse to like the strings and
piano. It's influenced by Buddhism, which is influenced by like his whole life, even though...
It's reference to Golden Dawn.
Yeah, even though he's
Buddhist. If you're watching this, you know exactly what I'm about there, brother.
Like his Buddhist teacher or something in London told him that Buddhism wasn't his thing and should pursue a career in music.
And occultist. So she's sort of inspired Bowie's like music.
I don't know, it was he, I think. But yeah, I guess. And Golden Dawn is like this like paranormal, metaphysical sort of cult.
A cult following that's like in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And Alistair Crowley was a member, wasn't he, dude?
Yeah.
Mr. Crowley for another Ozzy Osbourne reference, and I'll link you back to. It's also referenced by Friedrich Nietzsche, a German philosopher. Nietzsche. It's the beautiful people, Marilyn Manson. Friedrich Nietzsche is relevant on that. The concepts of the Overman, not Overlord, Overman, not Black Label Society. And it also relates to, just saying, like, it's like NME described it as like Bowie in his darkest and most metaphysical mood. Rolling Stone remarks on a super singing a beautiful guitar motif.
It's more like it's very dark. This song. It's also more like a ballad as it progresses.
I feel it's more anthemic as well. So I got a lot.
Ballad anthemic.
There's a lot of. I feel like Bowie's vocal size.
He's finding more of his voice.
It's like I heard it. It's like I listened to "It's My Life."
I'm not a fan of Bon Jovi, I'm afraid.
I like Richard Sambora's Talkbox. Everyone, which is track 7. It's not one of my favourite songs on this release. What would you say to Fill Your Heart, dude?
No, I haven't got much for
cover song,
it's more
dance. Cover song.
Yeah, it's more dancey. It's got a bit of sax. It's got piano like all the other tracks.
Bowie's experimental vocals too. Free your mind and you be free.
It's more jazzy as well. It's got strings and it's got sax solo as well. No, it's a bit different on the album.
The sax seems to play a prevalent part, much like it did on the 21st century Schizoid Man do.
Yeah, just
a throw in there. I'm sure Fill Your Heart, it was a cover song of people. What's it called now?
People.
Biff Rose and Paul Williams, I think.
Can't say I've heard it.
from like a 1968 song that Bowie had been playing like since early 1970.
Oh,
I'm sure of this. Well, 99.9% sure of this. Yeah, it was the hippie comedian Biff Rose, American singer-songwriter Paul Williams, from 1968. And it references, like, could be lyrically about, like, the happiness that love brings. You know, love cleans the mind and makes you free, and lovers never lose. It also could be representing that ignorance is bliss, like, forget your head and you'll be free. There's a lot of reference to, like, freeing your mind.
Okay.
This song, there's something I need to do more often. I need to let go of all the negativity and free my mind.
It's more psychedelic number.
It opens with sax, I think. You get that
no, it opens with the saying of the name of Andy Warhol and Bowie trying to say that it's
holes.
And then he asks if they've already started recording.
I think he was talking to Ken Scott then, dude.
He asked if they'd already started recording, and he starts laughing, and he just kicks into the song.
And there's much more like deeper guitar tone if I was in a more conventional style, but like multi-layered vocals come in. Do you remember multi-layered vocals?
And it's got the flamenco guitar and also like some country vibe to it.
And also the Bruce Dickinson style vocals where it's saying like whatever it is, you know. There's no air raid siren Bruce Dickinson. Although Bruce Dickinson's he's gotten old, it's better in the 80s than 90s. Bruce Dickinson's still a phenomenal. But he used to be in Samson for Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden. I thought we were quite right. It says here we're rare. And it sounds like that tapping on the floor or something as well. Saying you said like
I think it's like it's probably hitting on a stomp box or something.
Was that Mick Ronson?
No, it probably would have been Mick Woodmansey if it is actually like a drum.
I was supposed to call him Alan. Alan Woodmansey.
I don't know, it just to me, it's
Alan.
It's not drums, but it's like a form of percussion to me. So I'm guessing it was a stomp box.
Percussive instrument. They're like muties on guitar. But not Andy Warhol, David Bowie played this song to Andy Warhol interview, but Warhol wasn't a fan of it. He thought it puts fun at his physical appearance.
When he first played it to him, he just they just stayed quiet for a while and just looked at each other.
But the best bits are like David Bowie said, "I like your shoes."
No, it was Andy Warhol who said it to David Bowie.
And then they had a conversation about shoes. I think I really enjoyed this song.
Like when Bob Dylan went electric.
This is the Tuesday's Gone, Lynyrd Skynyrd's song. I revealed it. It has that sort of like country-esque vibe, you could say, dude.
It's got a country like old Bob Dylan. It mixes in with like when Bob Dylan went electric, sort of.
I'm sure the Tuesday's Gone repertoire changes. Yeah, it's like a little bit,
but
like slightly.
It begins like he talked about Bob Dylan's name, which is Robert Zimmerman.
It basically says, "Here it is, Robert Zimmerman. I wrote a song for you." Because I was taken from like Bob Dylan actually wrote a song like a similar man.
A song for Woody.
A song for Woody Guthrie.
Yeah, Woody Guthrie.
Who was an American folk singer. Because Bob Dylan focused a lot on folk.
Yeah,
it was based on Bob Dylan circa 1965.
And also, David Bowie described Bob Dylan's voice as like sand and glue when he first heard it.
I'm sure that was. I got that down too. I'm sure I did. Like it was mentioned by what's the name now? Like I got some person like said the same thing.
David Bowie?
There was David Bowie, yeah. The song actually known as a song for Bob Dylan. Here she comes with like a BBC concert session when it was first aired. Oh, what is her name? I'm sure I wrote this down somewhere.
Nico.
Yeah, Nico. Of course it was Nico. Nico Bellic, my cousin. What's her name?
It doesn't matter.
It does. But so somebody else said that Bob Dylan's voice was like sand and glue.
We'll
leave it there.
It sounds like Bob Dylan. It's just that the guitar composition as well and how it progresses, just very Bob Dylan-like.
Well, if it sounds like a tribute to Bob Dylan, I imagine a lot of
it's definitely
Bob Dylan style.
It's definitely one of my favourite tracks on the album.
I think I really enjoyed it too. You know, I'm sure I did.
Although, then again,
Dylan had albums Bring It All Back Home and Highway 61 Revisited from '65.
Oh, okay.
I'd heard of Highway 61 Revisited. I was thinking Deep Purple. I was at Highway Star.
The beginning, like there's like this little snippet of acoustic guitar where it's counting down. It reminds me of the styling of Space Oddity when the acoustic guitar kicks in.
That guitar sounds so similar to something I've heard before. I just couldn't put my finger on it. It's inspired by Velvet Underground.
David Bowie also did.
I couldn't hear the resemblance.
David Bowie also did a cover of "I'm Waiting for the Man"
in 1967, but it was never released. I'm just thinking, like, what? Bowie's also Bippity Boppity Pat.
Yeah, this is definitely a electric guitar heavy song.
It's very
a lot of distorted guitar.
I got a sort of Sex Pistols vibe. It's a pretty simple song though, dude. It's a lot of parts repeated.
Like thrashy, punky sort of guitar.
But I enjoy it. Would you say it's like the heavy song this album?
Yeah.
It's like sort of a precursor to the material which was on the
apparently
Ziggy Stardust album.
apparently it
More
sounded-
heavier.
Apparently, it
As
sounded like
alluded to.
the track "Sweet Jane" by Velvet Underground, but actually,
From their first job, 1970s, loaded.
but it actually is Eddie Cochran's
Eddie
Three
Cochran.
Steps to Heaven, which was released in the early '60s.
In fact, 1960, dude.
Oh,
2 years 4 Beatles, really. Because Eddie Cochran's like a rockabilly sort of musician, like Elvis had been in the
And
50s.
Chuck Berry.
Martin,
Chuck Berry and Elvis are those who influenced David Bowie.
And, as well as this dude, you know that part of the lyrics are also mentioned in the song Mr. Brightside about killers? Did you know this?
Apparently. I don't know.
I was trying to think of the
I
song.
don't like listening to that song, to be honest.
It was just some very sort of like a soothing acoustic like guitar melody. Mixed in with some ambient sounds and Bowie's vocals and some more Mark Microns and strings.
It's very different to the rest of the to the album. It's very
I would certainly agree, Brilliant. Especially at the end.
touchable in comparison to the others.
Do you like the end bit? The end bit's weird. It's different.
Yeah.
Oh, God, why?
It's like gets a bit psychedelic as well. at
It
times.
reminds me of Marilyn Manson's Hollywood star, that end bit. It's like
Oh, and apparently the lyrics Bowie doesn't even know what they're on about because they don't make sense.
it was something to do with like Americans, because Americans.
Oh, he said that,
always,
he
like,
says that
shriek things
he
into
wanted
things.
it to be
Even
about
though
the
lyrics
American
make
market
absolutely
or
no
something.
sense.
Yeah, but apparently they think like deeper into it and stuff.
Apparently, like Bowie once said, like if he was to like sort of decipher what lyrics meant, like sort of reference like ghosts or something.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking Ghost Once 4 by 9 Inch Nails, that box set thing.
Excellent.
It's it's like an instrumental album, dude, like ambient. It's very 60s feel.
Yeah. I said it was this track was very
Oh, the song, I like the
ballad
vocals.
worthy.
Dude, I like the vocals that says, and we were gone. I love that bit.
And
It's
then
total 60s.
He
It was
used
the
the
71.
title
Master
of this
Reality.
song in the 70s to create a publishing company called the Beulah
Beulah Brothers.
Bros.
Which uses synonyms on Iggy Pop's.
Yeah, when recording the Lust for Life album.
1977 Century Journal called Lust for Life, which features
Lust for Life.
arguably Iggy Pop's biggest song in the album
Most
called
recognised song, yeah.
Lust for Life.
Because if you ask me, like another Iggy Pop or Iggy in the Studio song, no, I have no idea.
I was trying to think of the band that Iggy Pop was in before I went solo. Was it the Stooges?
He must have been, yeah.
Because I know like, it's cool like how Bowie works with Iggy Pop. So obviously Ziggy Stardust character is based on like Iggy Pop and Lou Reed. Obviously it's the Velvet Underground and Queen Bitch.
Yeah.
And you said this one of your favourite songs down, didn't you?
You said it before me and then I had another listen. And
My favourite songs are Queen Bitch and Beulah Brothers.
Yeah, and I also like Song for Bob Dylan and Quicksand. They're probably...
I like songs for Bob Dylan.
I also like On Mars.
I'd probably have to go for Queen Bitch due to the heaviness.
Yeah.
It's a precursor to his glam period. It's like you get hunky dory squeezed between The Man Who Sold the World in 1970 and The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and Spider-Man 1992.
And so people probably... It's arguable what's David Bowie's greatest album. Because, I mean...
I think it's a pretty decent collection of tracks.
I think it's a very decent collection of tracks. I mean, Ziggy Stardust is also a well-known... And it's got Ziggy Stardust, it's Starman.
Do you know how like The Man Who Sold the World and The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and Spider-Man is like more like guitar heavy, guitar based?
Yeah,
This
so
is
is
cool.
Diamond Dogs. That's also got some...
Diamond Dog sounds like the Stones.
Yeah, it's also got
according
some
to the
guitar
Possible Went
Like, the title track's very guitar heavy.
We're going to do a series on the Smiths soon. And there's a sort of like diverse like, use of instrumentation sounds like strings, piano, and saxophone. Which I feel is probably a nice little touch of diversity as opposed to like the guitar heavy Bowie era. And also the experimental vocal styles like free.
And so even though this song collects from the Crafting, it's a very credible album from David Bowie.
I like it, dude. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
I'd give it an 8 out of 10 as well. Maybe like 7.9.
I mean, it's an accessible album. Like most of the songs are like pretty shortish, and they're not too complex passages. It's not like listening to the Chorus of Crimson King again or anything. I mean, but Fill Your Heart is just not for me. And 8-line poem. I like the guitar. It's just not one really standout song. Like the 2 weak tracks on the album, probably I give it probably an 8 out of 10 rating. It's strange. It's like this album is like a full blown, fully fledged like rock affair. But even though it's more like based like easy listening side, I really enjoy it a lot.
Multiple tracks I really enjoy. It's what gives me that 8 out of 10. Like if there was probably one less, I'd probably be at like 7 out of 10.
I was deliberate, so let's give it a 7 or 8, dude. And as you can see from the artwork, everyone, it's actually myself presenting the artwork in this episode, opposed to Travito. He's just casually gone off to the edge of the world somewhere, and as he was alluding to with the photo shoot of David Bowie and sort of like, what was the name of this person, dude? Marlene Dietrich or something.
Dietrich, yeah.
Dietrich, like,
yeah,
it was...
that would make more sense. Or Dietrich, I don't know.
It sounds German. I think she was German, dude.
Yeah,
German
yeah,
actress.
yeah.
You were saying how she basically like taken like a photo, he'd take like a photo shoot of her, went to the
the
photo shoot. Yes,
it's
it's taking a photo, but to the photo shoot.
Surname's
That's cool.
Dietrich.
Very German, very German. It looks like he's like being like caressed. It's like I got the idea of like a mannequin. It looks like there's like some hand on his head or something. It's very very sort of experimental and experimental and David Bowie very artsy. And on the back we see the track listing with like a picture of somebody that looks like Adam Jones from Tool or Jimmy Page for some reason, as well as the track listing. And it's actually like it's actually like a remastered edition of the album, everyone, because basically like, I bought it from HMV. Because, I did. We see the disc, it's just white, it says David Bowie Hunky Dory and the track listing. We see like the sort of the join the David Bowie community on the internet, because it's basically like a more modern edition of the album. And as you can see, you have like other releases from David Bowie, a bit like what happens with like Core by STP. If you take the booklet out, we see, well, actually there's a picture of like that dude looks like Jim Page or Adam Jones. Could be an early David Bowie. I'm not too sure. Did David Bowie grow his hair out for this album, dude?
I ain't got a clue.
I've not seen any pictures of David Bowie.
It looks like he's got long hair on the album cover. It looks like he's holding it back.
It looks like there's some like lady like caressing like a mannequin sort of idea. We'll see that again. We'll see the Adam Jones, Jimmy Page, David Bowie person. We'll see with this being like a more like newer edition, I imagine the artwork would be like much more expansive. See like more pictures of like Bowie and the track listing. It looks much like Bon Jovi in one of those pictures. Holy hell! Especially in that one too. It looks like Sebastian Bach.
Oh, from
Skid Row.
Skid Row.
Very, very glam. Although David Bowie being experiencing glam in 9 Man of World anyway. There's just basically like more pictures in here, everybody. I'm glad there's like a pretty expensive artwork in this dude. It's really cool. Very Egyptian, mummified. Some more stuff. And more Egyptian mummified there. A bit like Iron Maiden's Power Slave, dude. And another David Bowie that looks like Bon Jovi. Or something. And got his Hunky Dory artwork, do's and dudettes. And here we go, once again, do's and dudettes, a good moment that we love the most of. Which sounds this moment that I love the most, and I just thought it made like a massive song and dance about it.
Maybe.
When we sort of pick out of the hat which CD we'll be reviewing next week for y'all, and I always look forward to this magical moment, dude. It's certainly very exciting, and are you ready for your eyes to be concealed once again, brother? Reveal all, and we have like a pre-anticipation of what this album could be, but we're kind of hoping it isn't what we hope it isn't to be. And that just made absolutely no sense whatsoever.
I had the idea of one, and we're hoping it's not that one.
It's good to keep shuffling around in there, dude.
Okay, I got it. Oh, it's very short, this. Ooh.
Oh,
interesting. See,
I'm looking forward to this,
People
dude.
might not think this is a classic, but we're not going for literal classics. I'm looking forward to this. That's a good one. I know
it's not like an extension of a previous series that we've done, so...
I mean, this is a band's album which is not recognised as their other work, so...
I'm relieved, dude, that we haven't pulled the album out of the hat. Thank you for being a good sport and not pulling that album out. So.
No, well, this is interesting.
Whoa. This is going to be awesome.
Very more modern. One of the more modern ones we're touching on.
Maybe not with the production. But we'll get into this next week, and so... Thank you for y'all once again watching our video, and still until next time, I've been Jonny Middleton.
And I've been Travis Ward.
Stay strong, and we shall see y'all in the future forever. Peace and much love, as always.